Hello everyone, today I'm working on this. It's a maintenance of way equipment. This is a Green Max kit. It's not very expensive and it's a very neat kit. However, it's a static display model. I would like to have one that's powered. So what I want to use is this little thing. I'll show you a picture of the Gondola number for this unit. So it's a good runner, it's a Gondola, and it's not very expensive. The first one, I bought two of these. The first one that I did, I wanted to power the lead unit with this. So I disguised it to be the top of this. This was a failure because it looked like a semi going down the track. It really does look like a semi truck. So I'm gonna not use that, which was my first kit. What I'm gonna do this time is I'm going to build the kit to do something like this. This train, the engine's very small, and then the second car has the power unit. So I'm gonna be doing this with this Green Max kit. So I'll be giving my instructions close by. It's a pretty straightforward kit. So this here is the main part of the power unit. You can see with the wheels, there's no way that that's going to roll on the track. So I'm going to be using Rapido trucks for that. So most of us have these that we have lying around. We're not really doing much with it. So I'm going to use this to make my my wheels roll. I'm actually going to cut it. I'm going to cut it and I'm going to remove as much of the detail as I can so I can fit the new side frames on it. So these are the side frames provided with the kit. I'm going to try and use them as much as possible. So essentially I cut it in two and I took quite a bit of the detail out, but I still allowed it to roll freely and be strong enough. So I made two of these. So this is the main body of the power unit. So I'm going to be removing these tabs under here, all of them, with my cutting wheel from my Dremel. So this is the main part again. So I shaved everything under it. Now I'm going to come in and glue my wheels about like so with super glue or CA adhesive, whatever you prefer. So this is what you'll have. I'm going to see if I can adapt the little side frames to it. So I am going to be able to use them. I just have to make maybe some kind of a little shim just to fill in this crack. But it's going to look okay in the end. I often use this type of food wrapper to make extra parts. So I don't throw them out, I keep them. So I made my two very small shims and I put the front and I put the back also. So I'm gonna paint this at this time now. So this is what my little tractor looks like once the paint is dry. I'm going to do the same type of Rapido trucks on this little trailer here. It's a little trailer that's provided with it. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. So this is what my little trailer looks like. So I just glued the two ends together and over that the little trailer, and these will go well together. Now the reason I wanted these to be painted first is because I want to use the windows. So with the kit they provide a set of windows, and it's impossible to put them on after the kit is dry. So I'm going to work on that. So they provide you with the material to make windows. So I'm just going to cut a little bit of it, and that should be enough. So I put on my windows, I'm letting them dry. While that's drying, I'm going to work on hiding this a little bit. So what I've got, I'm going to kit bash this gondola here. It's an old Bachmann gondola. So I'm going to work on hiding it with the gondola. So I'm going to start by cutting the gondola and keeping only the walls. So I'll start working on that. So I've cut out the floor for my gondola. It's going to go over here, but before I do that, I want to shorten it. So in order to hide the cut lines, I'm going to cut here and here. Now that I have them cut the way I want them, I'll just join them together like this. So while the gondola is drying, I'm going to go back to working on my little cab. You can see with the windows, it really makes a big difference. So my glue has had time to set. Now it fits in over my little unit perfectly. I'm going to paint this a little bit boring brown. I have an ulterior motive for that. It could have been yellow, but I'll tell you later why it has to be brown. So like I said, a very plain brown. Now I'm going to add some decals and some dull coat. So with the decals and the dull coat, I made it very subdued also. Very plain, but still interesting to look at. So I'm going to use some very soft plastic. This is a bag that I get from my dry cleaners, just to separate the gondola from my motor. So this will help me, because I'm going to do a gondola load for this. I'm going to put some just normal white glue and some gravel just to hide the machine. So by doing it with a plastic bag in the middle, this will allow me to get back to the motor if I ever want to do work on it or clean it. So I'm just going to spread out my white glue. You don't really need much. And if you mess up, it's no big deal, because you can take it out with water. So I'll continue doing this off camera. Then I will simply cover this with gravel. You can be a liberal with this, because I want to cover every little hole. And then I'll let this dry for a day. So it took actually a day and a half to dry. That's what it looks like at the end. Looks pretty disgusting underneath, but it fits very well over my power unit. Let's just put them together. There. So my ulterior motive for painting it like that is this. It's a little Bachmann 040. Now this thing runs. It just can't get out of its own way. It just has no power to pull anything. I kept it because it's really neat, but it could sure use some help. So I would put my gondola behind it, and maybe together they could pull 3, 4, 5 freight cars, and you won't notice it because it really does look like a gondola. So this 040 will be pulling this train here, the passenger train, and I can have my track maintenance units pulled by my gondola. And now it's time to run some trains. My backman one didn't want to cooperate, so I'm using my Cado. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly had fun making it for you. See you soon.